My name's Greg Sawtell, and I'm speaking from the Community of Curtis Bay Association. Our website is www.ilovecurtisbay.com, and I think you've heard that from residents who've testified already, is that we have love for our community. What we find unacceptable is a never-ending series of injustices that this community is exposed to. What I want to share are the immediate questions that came the morning of the explosion and that to this day remain unanswered, but I want to take you through the process that the Community Association has taken in the spirit of sharing useful information for this committee so that you're in a better position to take action. We do appreciate representatives from the fire department here coming today and sharing information, although it's lacking in many regards, and we hope to get more. We do appreciate you showing up. We can't say the same thing for the actual cause of this explosion, which is CSX, who's noticeably absent today, and we'd like for everyone to recognize that the company, the $30 billion company that owns and operates the CSX coal terminal in South Baltimore, is not here today. We think that speaks volumes. So the first question that residents have asked and continue to ask is, what's in the air that we're breathing right now this second since this explosion happened? We already know that coal dust comes into the neighborhood every single day. It's been reported, it's on record to Maryland Department of the Environment for decades, residents reporting coal dust. Okay, this is not in question. It's a matter of official record. The day of the explosion, though, it heightened concerns about what's in the air. Now, here's where we run into our first problem. That question is impossible to answer. Why? Because 10 years ago, Maryland Department of the Environment removed the only regulatory air monitor in South Baltimore, in Fairfield. Okay? So we currently have been flying blind as to what is in the air we're breathing for 10 years because our state agency, whose mission is to protect and safeguard the air that residents are breathing, made a choice based on what we don't know, because for that same 10 years, as we pled for an answer as to why would you remove the air monitor in the same year, 2008, 2009, when the 21226 zip code registered the highest level of toxic air emissions in the entire country.
Thank you, sir.
Oh.
If you could conclude,
okay,
please.
Yep. And so that's where we've hit our first obstacle, is answering basic questions as to what we're breathing. The community has stepped up and is deploying now in partnership with Maryland Department of the Environment, 10 years too late, an actual local air quality monitoring network. So the answers are going to be coming, but we already know the answers to the questions by people's testimony and their health problems over the decades. Next major question. What emergency response plans are in place? What do we do in the event of the next explosion? Unfortunately, it's a matter of when, not if, the next event occurs, given the cumulative nature of this problem. So first, we turn to Maryland Department of the Environment and EPA and our local Baltimore City Emergency Planning Committee, okay, who we were told in writing by MDE and EPA is the go-to entity locally to get the best information about what we do in the event of incidents like this. And I just want to read to you briefly, the only response we've received to date to our request for information, yeah, I'm going to wrap it up, is from our LEPC, Local Emergency Planning Committee. Good afternoon, sir. My apologies for not getting back to you sooner. I'm working on a few of your questions with MDE. Once I'm able to confirm a few items with the office, I'll be able to circle back to you with your questions. Regards, LEPC. That email was sent May 11th. We're on June 15th. There's been absolutely zero communication since. Unacceptable. No information from our officials, no information from our local emergency planning committee. What about CSX? Residents have been turning to CSX directly to get answers. They've provided a report. They've estimated 6,000 pounds of coal dust was expelled. They claim almost none entered the community. We've shared photos to the contrary. We will share them with the fire department in the spirit of collaboration. But just final thing, because it really matters what the root cause of this incident was, and we really only have CSX to answer that unless we launch an independent investigation. Email from community members. Dear CSX, to Rebecca Hensley, CSX. I'm writing to you as a resident in the Curtis Bay community. I graduated from Ben Franklin High School, and I'm committed to helping make my community a healthier and better place. I'm writing to you regarding the explosion that took place at the CSX coal pier on December 2021, across the street from the rec center and community park. I felt the force of the explosion at my house and was terrified. I've read news articles and attended community meetings where I've repeatedly heard that the cause of the explosion is still being investigated. I'm writing with a related but different question that's very important to me. My question is, can you make a promise to me that your coal facility will never explode again? I'm not asking if you will take all required precautions to reduce the risk of future explosions. I'm asking if you can commit to stating that the facility will not explode again. If the answer is yes, then please explain how you can make this commitment. If the answer is no, then please explain why as well. I'm asking you this because it's important to me to know, given the size of the facility and the force of the recent explosion within close proximity to where I live, to have a better understanding of the inherent risk that a coal terminal of this scale presents to myself and nearby residents, regardless of best practices taken to reduce those risks. To date, June 15th, the response, nothing. Not a confirmation of receipt, no reply, zero. We find this unacceptable. We need answers. We need action. Thank you.
Thank you. I would also encourage folks, I think there are